Hi, welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow. For today's practice, all you need is a block and some space to move. Hopefully more than I have with Teton here, but good luck. We are going to get started in an easy seat, so whichever leg you prefer in front. Goal here is a nice tall spine. You can sit up on that block if that feels better in your hips. Let the eyes soften or close. Hands resting gently on the lap. As you're ready, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching out that left side of the neck. On an inhale, look down towards your lap, stretching out the back of the neck. Exhale, bring left ear to left shoulder, stretch out the right side. Can continue working with that pattern. Inhales to look down. Exhale, bring ear towards shoulder. Giving yourself a few rounds working at your pace of breath. Spending extra time on any spot that feels like it needs a little extra love. Allow yourself to even out on both sides. And we'll meet back in center looking down at the lap when you're ready. Pause there. Next breath, lift your gaze all the way up towards the sky like you're pointing your nose towards the ceiling. Open up the front of the neck. Then bring your gaze back to neutral, looking forward. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shift your way to a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Pausing here for a moment with a neutral spine. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the mat. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine. Give yourself one more round here. Belly drops and look up. Then round the spine and press away. Next round, come back to a neutral spine and then bring your forearms to the mat, keeping your hips lifted, almost like a puppy pose. On an inhale, drop your belly, look up. Exhale, round your spine, press away from the mat. So it's that same movement, but if your low back tends to have some pain or struggles in that shape, this is a good way to get into that lower lumbar. Give yourself one more round. And we'll meet back in center when you're ready. Palms press into the mat, hands under shoulders. Extend your right leg long behind you, toes on the mat. Press that right heel away from you. Giving yourself a full round of breath or two here to stretch out that right calf. Then we'll shift into modified side plank. Left toes spin off the mat. Left hand plants under the face. Right arm towards the sky. Now you're shifting that back foot so your right toes point towards the long edge of the mat. Press into that right foot as part of your base here. You can keep your right arm reaching towards the sky, or maybe reach that right arm overhead like you're reaching in front of you, creating almost a rainbow shape in the side body. Whichever feels better in your body, particularly in your shoulders. Give yourself a breath here. Then lift right arm back to the sky if it's not already there. Coming into mini half moon. Right foot lifts off the mat. Right toes are flexed as that heel presses away from you. Engaging that outer hip here. Press into that standing knee and your left hand as it supports you. Maybe you press the back of the head back just a bit, opening the front of the neck. Then right foot comes back to the mat. Return to tabletop. Shifting to the other side. Left leg extends long, toes on the mat. Left heel presses behind you. Really give yourself time to stretch out that calf. Some people prefer almost to shift back and forth, getting into that calf, or you can hold the stretch, but giving it a little love before we get into some balancing shapes. Modified side plank, right toes spin off the mat, right hand under the face, left arm reaches towards the sky. Again, that left foot, toes point towards the long edge of the mat. You can keep that left arm reaching up or play with reaching it forward. Whichever feels better for you, give yourself a moment, maybe 2 here. Stretching out that side body, feeling into your base, left foot presses into the mat. Then left arm reaches back towards the sky. Lift the left foot off the mat. Mini half moon, flexing those toes, engage the outer hip. Feeling that core engagement, that hip engagement, and your quad, everything working here to support you. Little balancing shape just closer to the floor. Left foot comes back to the mat. Return to tabletop position. Taking your time, walk your hands forward about a handprint, then tuck your toes and lift your hips for downward facing dog. Pressing into both hands. You can pedal out the dog or shift your hips side to side. So it's funny to realize how many yoga poses have dog or puppy in them. Well, I've got one, taking up my entire mat, but he's happy. Give yourself one more breath here in your down dog. Then doing your best to take as much time as you can. Tiptoe forward. So taking little baby steps until you get to the front of your mat. Letting those knees soften. Real generous bend to the knees as you hang heavy here. Maybe opposite hand to opposite elbow. Sway side to side for a moment. On an inhale, find a half lift, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Inhale, lift all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, as tall as you can be. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, find that half lift. Then exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank position. Toes or knees, we're gonna be here for a full breath. Pressing away from the mat like you're puffing up the back of the heart. Press your heels away from you. Engage the glutes. Then next breath, slowly lower all the way down, untucking your toes. On an inhale, lift just your heart for baby cobra. Maybe hands hover, really engaging that back body. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift, tops of the feet, press into the mat. Little baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Keep the hands planted. This time lifting to your version of cobra. Elbows stay soft. Maybe you lift a little higher. Next breath back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Use an entire inhale, sweep right leg towards the sky, toes point down. Exhale, step right foot between your hands for crescent. Arms come up to frame the face. Soften the shoulders from your ears. Engage the core here. Back heel presses away from you. Nice, strong, and stable base. Then bring the hands to heart center. Begin to shift your weight forward, pausing here like you're ready to bounce off that back foot. Slowly pour the weight into the front foot. Back foot lifts for warrior 3. On an inhale, open your arms for cactus like you're squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, open them for cactus once more. Exhale, bring them back to heart center. Inhale for cactus. We're gonna pause here. Then bend into the front knee, returning to crescent with cactus hands. Maybe the heart pulls forward just a bit, a little back bend. Arms reach up towards the sky to frame the face. Hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Crescent arms come up to frame the face. Again, find that base. Engage the core. Soften the shoulders. Back heel presses away from you, or some people like to think of it as lifting that back of the thigh up towards the sky, whatever works for you. Then hands come to heart center. Shift forward, coming to the tippy toes of that back foot. Pour your weight into the front foot. Warrior 3. Those right toes point down towards the mat. They might want to splay off to the side. Do your best to keep them pointing down. Inhale, we open for cactus. Exhale, draw them back to heart center. Inhale, cactus, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, back to heart center. Inhale, cactus, pause with the arms. Bend the front knee, return to crescent, heart pulls forward, gentle squeeze. Arms come up to frame the face. Hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior 2, back foot is parallel to short edge of the mat. Arms at shoulder height. Pressing into the blade edges of both feet. Inhale, right palm flips up. Pause here, engaging that core. Then bring right forearm just to tap on that thigh. We're not shifting a lot of weight. Left arm reaches overhead. So using the core to keep you lifted here rather than really sinking into that arm. You can keep left arm reaching or bring it to low back, little yogi chicken wing. Great way to help open the chest. Press into both feet. Give yourself a full breath here, keeping that chest nice and open. As you're ready, pausing here for just a moment, both arms extend forward. Holding here, engage that core. Arms back to shoulder height, warrior 2. Breathe in and out. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press into both hands equally. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior 2 on the other side. Back foot parallel to short edge of the mat. Arms are at shoulder height, nice strong base. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward, pause here. Then again, just tapping that left forearm to the thigh. Right arm reaches overhead. Keeping that core engaged to hold the weight, not sinking into that left arm. Right hand comes to low back. Press into the blade edges of both feet. Chest is open. Maybe even press the back of the head back just a bit. Not like over exaggerating, but we have a tendency to want to tuck our chin. Give yourself a moment. Keep your core as is. Extend both arms like you're holding a beach ball. Hold here for a moment. Then arms back to shoulder height, warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale for chaturanga or the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. This is a great time to take care that you have your block at its highest setting towards the top of your mat. Mine's typically just a bit in front of the mat, depending on where my dog is. So setting up your base here. Inhale, sweep left leg to the sky once again. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior two. Arms at shoulder height, building the base here. Now you've got a few options. You can shift your weight forward, tap the block, a little teeter-totter action, or you can plant your hands for half moon, allowing that right arm to reach towards the sky or come to low back. Right toes flex. Same shape that we had to start practice, just a little further away from the floor. Now in these slow flows where we hold a little longer, come in and out as much as you need to. If you'd like to play around with different options, looking up towards your extended hands can really challenge your balance. Or taking that left hand off the block, like a floating half moon, left fingertips just reach towards the floor. Wherever you are, one more moment. Bend into your front knee, return to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step right back to down dog. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior two on the opposite side. Start your base here nice and strong. Then again, you can take that teeter-totter motion, just tapping, shifting back, or you can plant into half moon for any of those options. Fun fact, teeter-totter is a nickname for Teton sometimes, so he seems real interested in it right now, you know. But wherever you are, flexing your left toes, left arm reaches towards the sky or low back. Play around with those half moon options, floating or shifting your gaze. Be here for just about 2 more rounds of breath. You've got it. Feel that engagement. Then next breath, bend into your front knee, return to warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the mat, low lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Bring your knees to the mat for child's pose. Knees as wide or as narrow as works for you. I like hands under my forehead here at this point in practice, or back by the heels. Some bodies feel better with arms extended, so find what feels right. Give yourself a handful of breaths here. One more breath. Then lift your upper body out of the shape, keeping your base as is. Hands come behind your heels, fingertips point towards you. Press your knees into the mat. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Little back bend here, head hangs heavy. Glutes engage as you press the hips forward. One more moment. Then return to center. Coming into a hero's pose, knees can point forward. If it doesn't feel great, you can always sit up on that block, gives a little more space to the knees, or simply take an easy seat. Wherever you are, we're focused mostly on a nice tall spine. Slight squeeze in the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand either on that knee or the thigh. Give yourself a nice tall spine, right shoulder pulls back. Come back to center, arms lift. Twist opposite direction, right hand on the knee or thigh. Left hand behind you. Left shoulder pulls back, find the twist. Then come back to center, hands resting on your lap. Eyes can soften or close. This is where we'll close out practice today, but if you would prefer to shift to a Shavasana, you're more than welcome to. Taking your time wherever you are. We'll take 3 deep, full breaths. Inhale the belly, the ribs up by the collarbones. Exhale from the collarbones, the ribs, the belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, belly. One more at your pace. When that's complete, returning to your natural rhythm of breath, we'll close the collective breath. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thanks for being part of this rad community. And I hope you have a relaxing rest of your day.